Hey, once again, hey everybody. Y'all know it's me. I know y'all say, hey, he say what is was on his mind. I know y'all know that I say what's on my mind. I say what I feel. But I want you to know this, that I'm feeling what I say as well. Yeah. I was thinking about the dumbest and the most racist politician. I haven't heard anybody dumber than Joe Biden and racist. All that. If you really do your homework, research, he's racist to the core. Hmm. Anyways, some people need to do their homework, and I realize that to some degree, people are, no matter what you say, um, or what a politician might say or do, they're still going to vote for them because especially if they're blinded by um, the truth, blinded by lies, to where they're blocking out the truth. They don't want to hear nothing. Lies got them covered. Hey, I've been there and done that. But I'm going to say this for those who support this guy. I know they said a lot of things about Donald Trump because somebody else said it. I'm talking about what I've heard with my own ears and I saw with my own eyes. I saw Joe Biden when he um, demonstrated some of his corruption on camera. It was recorded. He threatened to withhold aid from our country to Ukraine, where Barack Hussein Obama obviously knew everything about it. He allowed Russia to invade Ukraine while Joe Biden put pressure on him to fire a prosecutor who was investigating a corrupt company that Joe Biden had secured a position for his son to be on the board. What was that all about? To me, it was pretty dumb that it was recorded. Somebody recorded him saying he told them if they didn't fire that prosecutor who was investigating that company, that his son was on it. And his son admitted that he wouldn't have been on there except for his dad's name. So he used his dad to get on there, but his dad knew nothing, he said, about the business. Oh, wow. How dumb can that be? Who wants to believe that? Are the people that support Joe Biden dumber than he is? That would be my question. I know people would ask if it was in reverse. They talk about those who support Donald Trump, who was the president who's brought back jobs and given African Americans, blacks, jobs, how the employment went up and the unemployment went down, ever recorded in history for blacks and for Latinos, and they want to know what have Donald Trump done, what has Obama done, what is Joe Biden? Joe Biden was around for about 47 years. Yeah, he was Obama's whatever. Obama knew exactly what Joe Biden was doing. Yeah. Well, I just want to talk specifically about this. How dumb it was for him to even get on TV or be recorded, and someone put it on TV to say he told them if they don't fire he told the president of Ukraine, our allies, the ones that we're supposed to be protecting, giving the money so that countries like Russia won't rush in. And obviously there's a conspiracy right there. I would say that was treason to me. If we're supposed to be protecting them from people like Russia, and then all of a sudden you threaten to hold back money unless they do what you want them to do, which is allow your son to protect this corrupt gas company that we're obviously helping and giving aid to. I understand probably it was a personal thing. Yeah, they didn't get rid of him He said he was leaving in about 6 hours. If they didn't fire that prosecutor, they wasn't getting $1 billion. They're gonna withhold it from him. The guy questioned, well, what did the president say about it? He said, well, call him. He said, I tell you, if he ain't fired in 6 hours, I'm gonna be out of here in 6 hours. You won't get the $1 billion. And then he had the nerve to say, son of a bitch. I didn't want to say that, but he said SOB was fired. And then his son gets like, I read where it was 83,000 a month. Some say it was more than that. Out of the deal. And they released the monies. But Donald Trump, being a new president, wanted to make sure everything was going on, wanted to find out what's really going on. Joe Biden tried to make it look like that something else was corrupt. Perhaps the prosecutor who was investigating was corrupt or something. But actually the company, they said, was being investigated for laundering money and a bunch of other stuff. Some terms I can't even pronounce, but however, I can see clearly how after listening and reading, Joe Biden, dumbest politician I've ever heard or even seen. And then his son secures a $1.5 billion contract with China. Now, what could you get in turn? What do you believe China received in turn for $1.5 billion for? Must have been the same kind of connection with some businesses, but they say it's coming from the China Communist Party's estate and something. And then I think you get like, if I recall, 10 million. They got 10 million for introducing them to people for the introduction, whether it's Joe Biden introducing them to maybe even Hunter Biden and all the relatives, the families, the brothers. You get a $10 million introducing fee. And then something like $10,000 a month or a percentage of, just a lot of money. How about that? What do you think China? They said China wasn't trying to get none specific, just want to get some connections. And nobody really wants to know why that would happen. If someone was giving me $1.5 billion for some reason, and I'm supposed to be like the second person in charge of the United States, the whole country, wouldn't you want to know why they're getting $1.5 billion for their family? And then he's no longer the vice president. I just say this. It just confuses me. It's beyond me imagining people wouldn't want to know. Joe Biden, I think about how he carried the crime bill, 1993 crime bill. In fact, I was charged and sentenced up under that crime bill. However, I was, doing things I had no business doing illegally, selling cocaine, and it was, the guy that was, I was purchasing the cocaine from, tried to warn me and tell me I'm not in my league. He's got greater people than me to deal with. I was listening, but I was thinking, well, maybe I can just do what I got to do and get out the way and leave him alone. But at this time, he was saying it while the government was forcing him to sell cocaine. And I know what they do because I learned eventually. When they asked me, who do you know? I said, you got the guy that I was getting it from. Obviously, he was being forced to sell it. Now, here's the part about it. When Joe Biden carried that bill, it was a mandatory sentence. and it was really a conspiracy against blacks because the whites could do it freely. Yeah, we could do it freely. It was like 100 to 1 far as the ratio of sentencing blacks to white. And Joe Biden, I'm sure his son, who's been known to be on drugs, smoking crack. You know, I heard crack was supposed to be a little bit more of a harsher sentence, but I mean, it still was a mandatory thing because when I was incarcerated, I would count how many people would come into the prison during the ride-in time. I didn't know anything about the law then, but I've learned since that it was a law that Joe Biden carried when Bill Clinton was the president, conspiring against the black folks. And yeah, I heard Bill Biden say it was wrong. He's been trying to undo it. It wasn't wrong while that money was coming to him and while he was getting, probably his people, they probably knew all the drug dealers. Can you imagine the people, even his running mate, she smoked dope and they were locking people up for that too while she was smoking it. And I heard it was like African Americans that she locked up on a racial vastly disparity, I guess that's the word, as far as comparing blacks and Latinos to the whites. Yeah, that makes more sense now why they're on the same team, because they didn't care about people, and especially not black African Americans. So right now, I just wonder, and Joe Biden has been known to say he didn't want his kids going to school with no jungle, something about a jungle environment, blacks with blacks. That it's good that blacks got theirs and whites got theirs, when we know good and well, whites has always had the advantage, had the best, best jobs, best income, wages, best houses, best food. So we know Joe Biden did this KKK guy's funeral. I think it was Byrd. He said he was his mentor. It's just sad that people don't care how dumb he act or is. I listen to him talking. Just goes to talking about anything sometimes, to where they say, let's go, let's go. I've seen him on the news lately trying to answer questions. He's like, let's go, because he was stumbling. But anyways, I want to share a little bit with you all about the dumbest politician I've ever heard or seen, the most racist. And people don't really care who he is. He's on TV lying. 1 minute he wants to ban fracking. He don't want us to use oil, gasoline, our own. He wants us to depend on the foreigners again when they call the shots, and we get the long lines, of course, stand in line and get your ration of gas. And so that's kind of strange. At the same time, that which he want to ban here, that's what all these foreign countries are counting on, gas and oil. They got these big factories that they got to run, factories by the oil and the gas. So while they're building, we're tearing down. What kind of sense does that make? That's dumber than a bag of rocks to me. And the people that support that, I'm not sure who's the dumbest. The people that support the dumbest guy or the dumb guy himself. We're supposed to believe this. He says he's not going to do it. Then he says he's going to do it. The last debate, he said, yeah. We're gonna slowly but surely fade it out. Everybody told people he would never do it. All on recording, he says he's going to do it. Kamala Harris says she wants to do it. Now, during the debate, well, Joe's not going to do this. Joe don't want to do it. And then you got recordings of him saying it, and he's still saying it in a way. So what kind of people would vote for a guy who was just lied to him? First of all, he didn't want to answer it. Then he said that the people don't need to know. What is going on? Are people dumber than that? Now, when I first heard him talk and hear what he said and how he said it, I thought to myself before I really had learned a whole lot that I felt like he sounded like the dumbest politician that I've ever heard. I hadn't heard many, but even after hearing all the many, believe what you hear. Believe what people say. People say things right in front of you, and you can hardly believe that they're saying it because you just want to believe that they would say that like that right in front of you, as if it's like, did he say that? Yeah, he said it. He want to eliminate fossil fuel. He want to ban fracking. I used to wonder why we couldn't drill our own oil, why we had to depend on other people when we have just as much, if not more, probably, in maybe even one state. So they just hate Donald Trump because what? Because Hillary, they wanted the first female, and then because Obama, first black president who supported Hillary, who conspired with Hillary with the emails, he knew all about that. And they also sold Russia uranium. And not only that, Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, got from, I think it was the governor of Moscow, his wife, $3.5 million from her. Who's going to give you that kind of money for nothing in return? We need to know. We need to know what they're getting for it. Favor? I know the emails, when they discovered the emails about the computer, they said they just wanted to get some connections. It wasn't about the money, the return on the money, because what they were out to do, having some influence. What kind of influence? They wanted to know what influence did Hunter Biden, was he able to connect them with? So, is that why Obama said the jobs wouldn't be coming back? He said when Donald Trump said he's going to bring the job back. Well, I want to know how you gonna bring the job back? What kind of deal you gonna make to bring the job back? What kind of negotiating like he's supposed to tell him so that he can go and try to block the deal or something? That's all he's been doing. Obama has been going behind President Trump, even when President Trump became president, still visiting these foreign countries. He gave $150 billion to Iran, country that hates America, hates Christians all over the world. What does that say about Barack? Barack Obama. Now, people say he's a Christian, but I've been thinking, what kind of a Christian, actually, really, what kind of a Christian would tell a man that he can marry a man and it's okay? I mean, it might be okay among homosexuals to say that to one another, but to me, a Christian wouldn't say that. A Christian would tell him the truth and say, man, it's not of God. That's not what the Lord Jesus Christ teaches. That's not of God. So that's a lie. He's a liar. Yes, indeed, he's a liar. People, I know, we're all guilty, but these are the leaders telling us whatever they want to tell us and not even hiding it, wanting to make us believe that it's okay. That is true. No, it's not. I don't care, Yeah, there's something going on with that situation. Why would people say stuff like that? And for those who believe that that's okay, I have to start thinking that, the politicians, to me, like Joe Biden, the dumbest politician I've ever heard. 47 years, haven't done nothing for nobody but colluded with other countries. That's why when President Trump said that China will eat your lunch, Joe Biden was against it at first. No, he won't. No, he won't. Then he started saying, yeah, China will. I believe he was realizing that Donald Trump was getting closer to finding out what was really going on. Why would a person not even blame China for the virus that was released upon America? Why not? But you want to blame the president for how he responded when Joe Biden Nancy Pelosi, the governor of New York, they were all talking about, come on out. She was, Nancy Pelosi was in Chinatown talking about, come on out to Chinatown, let's party, celebrate with us. This guy's xenophobic, he's a racist and all this. Now they want to go out and tell people that he didn't handle the thing. I mean, they would have handled it later, much later. So are people just dumb, or they just go beyond dumb and just don't care? Because what Joe Biden is doing is actually, it's the dumbest thing a politician can do. And it's the dumbest thing that people can support. It's sad. But I believe a landslide, because everybody's not dumb. I think there's more for us than against us. Yeah, I'm a supporter of what's right. I believe that principles of, the party that wants to murder babies, fighting for women to be free to kill a baby. That's about the dumbest thing I've heard. One of the dumbest things I've heard. Well, women should be able to do what she want to do with a body. Well, that sounds like, so murder is what? Okay? If you can kill the baby in the womb, then when it's out, you can kill it too. Well, you can kill people that's been out for a long time then. Since you brought them into the world, I imagine eventually you'll be able to kill whoever you want to kill. Well, we know this. We're living in a land that's lawless. What kind of sense does it make to encourage people to go out on the streets, destroy everything? People get in their faces. This is what Obama said. Hillary said it. Maxine said it. Get in their faces and harass them and let them know they're not wanted. Obama says, it's my legacy. You're going to let them just, they can't do this. And then they raise monies, funds to bail the people out that kills policemen. I know policemen, when they're wrong, they need to suffer too. But you don't encourage people. What's this, vengeance? And so everybody says, well, it's okay to do it now? Because one person, two people, whatever. The police, they've been doing this for years under the Democrat rule. See, the party, Republicans, originally was the black people's party. I understand. Then the Lincoln situation, when it came to the end, they colluded together just like the Republicans and Democrats was doing at the time of Donald Trump. Sure was. One person stood up to do what's right for the country, and all the rest came against him. The Republicans, all the 15, 16, 17, however many he defeated of the party, Republicans, and the rest of them, Democrats. They hated that he wanted to protect America from illegals coming in. And that's the problem now with the stimulus. Nancy Pelosi want to make sure she get the illegals something. She wanted money so they can do certain things, take money and fight against the American people. For example, pack the courts. Want to be able to feed the people, the media, promote what they really want to do, and claiming that the Republicans are packing them. No, the Republicans are replacing people after one has resigned, or whatever, died. I'm sorry to say, died. They want to call that packing. That's not packing. Packing is where you want to try to just separate some things, divide some states, and make them to where you can have more votes. You can put more people into the Supreme Court than has been for years. Just add more to your party so that you can have an advantage instead of just doing it as it's been done. Tit for tat. Wow. Joe Biden, huh? The dumbest politician ever. Racist. Locking up people for the very thing his people have been free to do for years. His son, he says he's been on drugs. I'm sure he was free to sell it, buy it. Wouldn't be surprised if Joe Biden knew every drug dealer there is. If they were free to do it like that, they didn't have to worry about going to jail, especially now. His dad was vice president. And now they're connecting him with our number one adversaries. They were telling us that it wasn't Russia, it was China all the time. Joe Biden getting billion dollar contracts, getting millions from China. I believe there's a lot of other stuff going on. Yeah. Then you've got Twitter, like they're trying to protect Joe Biden from a laptop that his son left at a repair shop, forgot to go get it in time, and so it belonged to the repair. And they, by the grace of God, was able to get it to those who were concerned about the deal that was going on with China and the Biden's family. People that was interested in our country not being sold down the tube, because obviously Barack said it like he was sure that the jobs were out of here to be gone for good. Like he didn't desire to see the jobs come back. How is he going to do that? Show me how he's going to negotiate that. Laughing. They guaranteed that Donald Trump would not be the president of the United States. They were trying to guarantee it by framing him. They knew that Hillary had paid for the Lion dossier. Yeah, the documents that gave him permission to go to the courts to investigate, to spy on people that eventually they say was connected with Trump. And some of the people were doing other things they had no business doing, but they weren't doing it with him. So they used that to get to Donald Trump. And then Barack lies and said he wasn't doing it when Donald Trump says they're spying on me. He lied and said no. Then he admitted, well, it wasn't political. First of all, he lied. It's amazing how the Democrats are the party who seems to not be subject to prison and investigation like the other people did, even though they did the same thing or even worse. They all conspired. They got caught. Barack said he knew nothing about the emails, but come find out he was one of the ones emailing Hillary under an anonymous name. What are we living in? Turn a blind eye? Why? Because what? Bitterness, hate? I can imagine people are angry about the old of this country, about the past, discrimination, everything. That's fine. I can respect that. Don't be so angry that you allow people who really oppressed you to act like they're with you against a people who may have been racist, may have done a lot of things, but now ready by the grace of God to do what's right for the country as a whole. Donald Trump has done more for the historical black colleges than any other president. Even for black people and Latinos now. First Step Act, he's the one that's releasing them and trying to balance the prison, release people from prison and the stuff that they said Obama couldn't do or wouldn't do, didn't try to do for something. There's a lot of stuff he didn't do. But I know one thing he did. He came here to get rich. Got black folks deceived to where now he's regulations on all these businesses. He finds a way to get paid. He didn't care about how much it cost with the Obamacare. He didn't care if nobody could afford the deductibles or not. He would charge the insurance companies and the taxpayers would be paying, because eventually the insurance companies would charge us. Michigan has the highest insurance premium probably in the country. Just like trading with other countries. They're coming over selling their stuff, and when we want to sell ours, they charged us, like China. Donald Trump has the right to renegotiate stuff, like NAFTA, Hillary and Bill's worst world trade deal ever. The deal Obama made with Iran, the worst thing that ever happened. Are people just blind and dumb. Kind of remind me of people who don't read the Bible, but they claim to be Christians and they follow these people like preachers. Some of them, some know the word, I believe, I hope. Some still got the same mentality they had before that. Pimping on the street, they're pimping in the church building now. All they wanted was the money. and do whatever they want to do with it. People don't care. People fear man instead of God. In the laws, people don't read no law books, don't study no law unless they get in trouble. Then they start doing a little research. I can relate to that too. Some of the most ignorant people on earth are black people. But you have some people that really care about us, like President Donald Trump. He care about people. Sure do. If he's a racist, he's certainly not a good one. Certainly not a good one. I mean, before he became president, Jesse Jackson giving him awards for, how he helped black folks out and do a bunch of stuff. Then all of a sudden, when he started running for president, it's like they switched for some reason. Why do they hate a man that wants to do what's right? Oh, it's because the people that was in charge just lost, so they're just mad because they lost? Well, hey, sad that they lost, but don't let them people cause you to hate people without a cause. Barack Obama, Hussein Obama, and his Michelle, some say Michael, whatever. I wouldn't doubt it, because like I said, what kind of a Christian, real Christian, gonna tell a man he can marry a man? That wouldn't be a Christian. That'd be a wolf in sheep clothing. Really, honestly, can't. No. People people who feel free to say that, they might as well be free to live like that too, because it's a lie, and it's an abomination. There's lots of sins. That's about one of the worst things that a person could do. All unrighteousness is sin, but one of the worst things people could do, and forget who God created them to be. Living in some sad times. But I just thought I'd share with you a little bit of my thoughts, my opinion, my feelings, and I say what I feel again, like I said, and I'm feeling what I say. I'm feeling what I say. They're doing everything they can to try to steal the election, causing people to be afraid to live because they say the virus. Well, they said the virus is not as harmful to the young people as it is for older people. If the president had it, he's witnessed what it's like to have medicine, and he wants to make it available to people if they really need it. I mean, medicine was created to help people. But then everybody politicizes stuff. That's the only hope they have, is to try to use a lie against Donald Trump, because they have nothing else. He's already brought the economy to a level that was historical. And so they had to have something. Of course, China would love to do it if he was making sure they paid their dues and they weren't going to be free to do whatever they want. And now they want to tear down our economy even more. What Joe Biden's desiring to do, didn't want to tell nobody. But it's out. I pray Donald Trump continue to be the president and continue to expose. Some people need to be, just like they did with them, some people need to go to jail. Yep. Not only did Barack Hussein Obama know what they were doing against Donald Trump, he was the head guy. He was in charge. They're afraid to say it, but Barack Hussein Obama needs to go to jail. That's my opinion. I gave y'all my opinion. Hey, if you don't like it, too bad. If you like it, hey, pass it on, subscribe, share it, do whatever you need to do, because one thing about it is Trump, Donald Trump, who we have been given to be a defender of America against all others that hate us because what, we're blessed. We want to do what's right. Yeah, Obama went around and apologized to everybody for what happened, but it's one thing to apologize for some of the things that happened, but to apologize to the point where then you start giving the enemy ammunition, that's treason. I could apologize to someone for something one of my family members might have done that I feel was wrong. Hey, I apologize for it, man, but I don't go and give them weapons to destroy me and my family. Unless I'm really a traitor for real, I'm not really a part of the family. I'm just acting like it. I just look like one of them, but I'm not. Actions speak louder than words. Yeah, well, hopefully and I'll think about what I've said, and if there's anything else I need to say about it, I'll come back on and say that too. But right now, I just need to express how I feel about who I thought was the dumbest politician I've ever heard or ever seen in my life. People ignoring what he's done as if it doesn't mean anything. For the second in charge to get money, billions of dollars from our adversaries. When you ask who's the greatest threat to the company, it wasn't to the country, it wasn't Russia, it was China. And they all said it. Joe Biden was denying it for a while, and then he decided to tell the truth too. But I see why he wasn't saying it now. He had it going on in China. $1.5 billion is a lot of money. Then his son getting the millions for the introducing, and then Russia, they get money from Russian people too. Hillary and them already sold Russia the uranium. Obama, Special Counsel Robert Mueller, Hillary, they were all in on that one. So really, I believe their plan was to make sure nobody got in but one of their own, because if someone else got in, they would see all this that was going on against America, and Donald Trump is exposing them. Good. I have no problem with someone showing us how we've been betrayed. I don't care how much you don't like what he did in the past. You need to love the presence of what he's doing to protect America, bring back the jobs, make sure the blacks get access to the top education, jobs, and everything else. Obama didn't do that. He didn't even concern about Flint, Michigan. When he came to Flint, he just pretended to drink some water and said it's okay. And all they can think about is Obama. Sad. Well, let me think about this. I'll get back with you guys and we'll talk again. In the meantime, for those that have ears to hear, is Donald Trump. Best president for America ever. And black folks need to consider their original party, which is right. See, I don't care about no Democrat, Republicans, independent, none of that. I care about what's right and then what's wrong. It's right to stand up for what's right. All this stuff, people standing up for what's negative and lies against Christ and everything else, because Obama was nothing but an anti-Christ. Everything he was against Christ with no problem, just like he was against America. Nobody can tell me any different. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've heard him. He lit up the White House with all these homosexual colors like he's celebrating it. It's one thing to say, hey, listen, you mind your business, y'all do what you're going to do. I'm not for that. But another thing to celebrate it. Only a person who has that in heart would do that. Enforce it. Threaten people who wouldn't agree with it. Churches, sue them, get his people to sue Christians for not wanting to make a cake with 2 men or 2 women, whatever. 2 reprobates, I would say. And that's what the people wanted. Well, the Lord God gave the people Saul, because that's what they wanted, the oppressor of their children and everything. That's what's going on. Oppressing the children, teaching them that good is evil and evil is good. That's what's going on right now. But then he raised up David to be a man after God's own heart, to tell you exactly what God said. Yeah, he comes short, but he wasn't going to tell you that God wasn't in control. And he wasn't going to tell you that what God said. He wasn't going to deny what God said. He wasn't going to refuse to tell you what God said. It was written. He sung about it as well. We need to sing about it too, talk about it, coming and going, tell our kids about it. They're teaching our kids all kind of stuff now in school. They teaching that America's racist. Yeah, there's a lot of races, black races and white races. But everybody's not. Everybody may have been racist at some point in time. I'll say perhaps that's possible. But there's some white people who have done more for me than black folks has ever thought about doing. And there's some black folks who betrayed me much more than any white folks have ever done. And I'm sure it goes both ways. They'll betray their own just like we betray our own. It's just the way it is. We all have to admit, we have to apologize, first of all, for living that lie. Selfishness, greed, hatred, jealousy, bitterness. Like now, that's all that's going on. Hating Donald Trump because they love somebody else who's not even worthy, to, as far as I'm concerned. They don't love him for the right reasons. Oh, they chose Barack probably, what, because he's black? That's it? Imagine that. And some thought he was a Christian. They said they chose him because he was a Christian. I said, he's not a Christian. First of all, Barack Hussein Obama should show you that his heritage is Islam. And then his action, which is Antichrist, show you that it's not Christian. You can call it whatever else. But anyway, that's what I've got to say right now. Yeah, I'm a little frustrated. I'm a little anxious. I really want to take my time and break it down. But however, I'm just off the cuff, just off the top of my head. I've seen it. I've heard it. And people have drank the poison. Hey, be encouraged, especially those who see the truth and voting for the truth. And other than that, people might get what they want, but I'm sure they won't. They ain't gonna want what they get after they get it. They're not gonna want it. Gonna be in lines, rationing out toilet paper, food, a whole bunch of stuff, rationing out money, shutting down the economy, trying to shut down the business, bankrupt it so they could have something to try to blame on the president. But they never talked about how he had brought the economy to a level that's historical. Never even shared that. They never even wanted to talk. The media. But when Donald Trump won, think about what they said before he won and while he was running. He'll never be. They laughed. They just rejoiced. They was conspiring all the time. And he won. And I'm excited. I've been laughing ever since. Laughing at the enemy. Because the devil is a liar. Hey, go and vote Donald Trump. Bye.